In the humid heart of the Amazon basin, a tree bleeds a milky white sap when its bark is cut. For thousands of years, the peoples of South America knew this substance well. They gathered it, dried it over smoke, and shaped it into balls that bounced with a strange and lively spring. The tree is Hevea brasiliensis, the para rubber tree, and the fluid it weeps is called latex. Few plants have shaped the course of human civilization as quietly or as completely as this one. The story of rubber is the story of how a jungle secret became the foundation of the modern age. When European explorers first reached the Americas, they were astonished by objects that stretched, rebounded, and repelled water. Indigenous communities had used the material for centuries to waterproof fabric and craft ritual objects. Yet raw latex had a stubborn flaw. In the heat it turned sticky and foul, and in the cold it cracked and grew brittle. For generations this weakness kept rubber a curiosity rather than an industry. That changed in the year 1839, when an American named Charles Goodyear accidentally dropped a mixture of rubber and sulfur onto a hot stove. The heat transformed it. The sap became stable, elastic, and durable across a wide range of temperatures. He called the process vulcanization, and it unlocked everything that followed. Demand exploded. The Amazon, the tree's only home, became the center of a frenzied boom. Cities like Manaus rose deep in the rainforest, flush with sudden wealth, building grand opera houses and mansions on the profits of sap. But this prosperity was built on suffering. Thousands of workers, many of them indigenous people, were forced into brutal labor to tap the scattered wild trees, and countless lives were lost to disease and cruelty in the pursuit of what became known as black gold. The Amazon's monopoly, however, would not last. In the 1870s, seeds of the rubber tree were carried out of Brazil to the botanical gardens of London. From there, seedlings traveled to the tropical colonies of Southeast Asia. In the soils of what are now Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Sri Lanka, the trees thrived, free from the pests and diseases of their native land. Vast, orderly plantations replaced the wild scattered groves of the Amazon, and within a few decades the center of rubber production shifted permanently to the other side of the world. Today the rubber tree grows in long straight rows across millions of acres. It flourishes in hot, wet climates near the equator, and it takes about 6 or 7 years before a young tree is ready to give its sap. Harvesting is a patient, skilled craft called tapping. In the quiet hours before dawn, a worker carves a thin diagonal groove into the bark, cutting just deep enough to reach the vessels that carry the latex, but not so deep as to wound the wood. The white fluid seeps out slowly and drips into a small cup fixed to the trunk. A single tree can be tapped for decades, yielding its harvest year after year without being felled. The collected latex is then treated, rolled into sheets, and dried, ready to begin its journey into the wider world. And that world runs on rubber. Though scientists have created synthetic versions from petroleum, natural rubber remains irreplaceable for its strength and resistance to heat. It is in the tires that carry every car, truck, and aircraft. It is in surgical gloves, in seals and hoses, in the soles of shoes and the belts of machines. When a passenger jet touches down on a runway, it lands on the sap of a tree first tapped by hand in a distant plantation. More than 2/3 of the world's natural rubber is grown by small farmers, families who tend a few acres and rise each morning to score the bark and gather the cups. From the rainforests of the Amazon to the plantations of Asia, from an accident on a hot stove to the wheels of the modern world, the rubber tree endures. It asks only for a shallow cut and offers in return a substance that binds our machines, our travel, and our daily lives together. The tree still bleeds, quietly, and the modern world still depends on every drop.